Should be good as long as you
There
didn't
you
lose.
go.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this 21st night of September as we bless the rains down in Africa. I am joined by the most wonderful of people, Andrew Anderson and Josh Diamani. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh,
Doing pretty great.
I hear the drums echoing tonight. We're gonna have fun. Let's do this.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a great show. It's always a good time in South Africa. Kyalami is a wonderful racetrack, and
Yes.
featuring the rain is going to throw a lot into the mix.
Yes, sir. And speaking of Kyalami, Andrew has some fun facts while we take a look at today's track map.
Hey, there it is. Hey, Kyalami is a Zulu word that means my home. It's kind of cool. And so here we go, guys. Let's talk a little bit of track. So this is my favorite track in the whole world. I like it better than Nürburgring. I like it better than Bathurst. I think this is a perfect place, and I'll explain why. Anyways, and so as we look at the track as it's laid out today, it's the fifth generation of this track. Starting at the start-finish line, there's a kink, and we have turn 2, which is called Crowthorne, and then we have the Uski Sweep, which is turns 3 and 4. Now, Uski is a Dutch game like horseshoes, but they use these big pipes instead of horseshoes. So that explains why it's the Uski Sweep. It's kind of horseshoe shaped, but that's the Dutch game because there's so much Dutch influence here in South Africa, which I bet we're going to cover some of that. Then we get to turn 5, which is barbecue. Now, if we look at turn 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that was the backstretch on the original track that started being run at the Formula One guys in 1967. That was the backstretch, but they flipped the direction around, so they were going the opposite direction then. And if you look, right here, if you look on the screen, there's actual house. So you're about to see them when we go. Okay, the driver on track. Here we go. He's going through 6 right now, going up the hill because this whole track is built on a hill. Let's see, here we go. Okay, see, you're about to see some houses up here. As he gets through Sunset, up that hill up there is a housing project. See, that housing project used to not be there. That was the original racetrack. That was the front stretch of the original track as it went the other direction. And so what they did is on the third generation of this track, they wiped all that off and made the housing development. And then they built more track down the hill, which is what we have, all this modern stuff you've got. Okay, so right here, if you see the car on, well, I'm not looking at the right spot here, but anyways, so 5 through like 8 and 9 is part of the old F1 track. Then we go all the way out to turn 10, which is Nieuwkoop, which is Dutch, son of a gun, Dutch, for Lion's Head. You take the turn, right here where we have Gould track, and you go down the mine shaft, all new stuff, and you get to Crocodiles, which is, I think, the hardest turn on the track. We're going to see a lot of problem there tonight. And then you go through Crocodiles, you go through Cheetah, which is that fast little sweepy right-hander with that big honking curb on it. Not going to be a big deal tonight because everybody's watching their stuff tonight, so it's not going to be a big deal tonight. And a dry track, everybody goes crazy and hits that thing. But then you hit the final corner and back onto the brand spanking new pit straight of this beautiful, beautiful track. But what we've got here, if we get the track map back up here, just for a couple of seconds, let's see if we can. But anyways, the Uski Sweep, there it is, turns 3 and 4. That's where it's all going to happen lap 1 tonight. Be ready to watch a lot of cars not pointing in the right direction. That happens in the dry. It's going to happen in the wet. So there's your track map for the night. And we're ready to watch some racing. And I think Josh has got standings and details and all cool deets.
Not necessarily as many cool deets as you, Andrew. You always bring a certain level of spice to the broadcast that I don't think many of us can can raise ourselves too, but we all raise a glass too. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why Pitbull's nickname is Mr. Worldwide. I guess they haven't met Mr. Andrew Anderson.
Exactly. But while we were learning a few things here on the side before we get to the fun and games, we're looking at a 150.5 from Jose Guzman in the NSX, currently sitting as the fastest silver time. It doesn't look too wet out there, so being in the 50s seems predictable. We may even see some 49s out of the silvers. What do you guys think?
I think they can do it. Professional race drivers.
Well, well, we could talk about it from here. How was qualifying for you guys last night?
Well, I think qualifying was about this condition.
Okay. And then what times did you guys put down?
Mine was not representative, but the silver class drivers were split about, I think, 50s and 49s. As we see 149 from M. Griffith with a 49.842 in the Audi.
Oh, he was crazy last week, so he's going to be he's fast. He might be in the wrong race. Yeah, I think I was about 150 flat, but I was being really careful.
Interesting. Oh, and we watched Guzman lose it. Yeah, D4 last night was about this this wet, but D4 and D2 can't really compare. I believe pole for D4 was like a 150.4.
Wow. For D1, I think was a low 48.
That's insane.
Now let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here. Is now we have the silver drivers are the only ones qualifying. They've got 6 minutes left, and then after the track gets dried out a little bit more, the gold drivers get to come out. So they're going to have a little bit of advantage. Unless the rain gets heavier, those guys are going to have a little bit better track. Right now, it's like you're watching Kentucky Derby. You know those horses that run good in the rain. They're called mudders. Right now, you got the mudders on the track. But it's going to be a little easier for the gold guys. So they're the faster guys anyway, and they're going to get a cleaner track to race on. So double not fairs.
How much would you say the effect of the water pushing that these silver drivers are doing right now is going to affect gold?
I think it all comes down to how much more it's going to rain. If the amount of rain is going to stay consistent or drop, I think this is going to do quite a lot for them, because they're going to be able to come out and get the tires into a better working window rather than having to fight through water to start. Let them be a little bit more competitive. But if the rain picks up, it's going to be null and void, because the track's just going to fill back up with water.
Spot on. Yeah, if everything, all things being equal, I think those gold guys got a little bit of advantage to them. Well, oh, go ahead.
Speaking of rain, didn't you guys have a dry race to start out last night?
I mean, yes. I thought I didn't have to think about that monstrosity of a race anymore. But yes, we actually did luck into the first 30 minutes of our race being completely dry. It was about, it wasn't exactly 30 minutes. It was around the 20-25 minute mark it started raining, I think. Just a little bit, but very abruptly across the whole track.
Yeah, it fit perfect for the pit window if you had all your stuff done right. But yeah, so yet again, we have rain in the forecast. We started a track that was damp and got dry. We had fast conditions for almost half the race. It was lovely, and most people had loads of fun. If you were in that race last night and you had fun, hit us up in chat and tell us how much fun you had.
And we mean that in the most sarcastic way. Hooker Q's already in chat saying for me not to remind him. So
yeah, I think that everybody had to make their decision on wets or dries and fuel and pressures. Everybody had 2 minutes, less than that, to sort that out, and it was just more than everybody could sort out, because the track was dry and it was also warmer than we expected it to be. So you had to like go take like a college algebra class in a minute 50 seconds and then figure it out and do like advanced mathematics. You had to do all the 3 R's from school, which really bothers me because you got 3 R's of learning. Only one of them starts with an R. That really bothered me growing up. I'm sorry. I'm venting on my childhood.
Well, as Andrew was trying to relive his childhood, and not in a good way, we were on cam with Landshark, who went half a second quicker and jumped up 2 spots up to 12th.
Oh, he's rising like Olympus over the Serengeti. So we're going to wear out this Africa song from Toto tonight, and we have a commitment. We're going to get through every line of the song before this race is over with, guys. So just be ready. Lucas is singing before it's over with.
You know what we need? I think we need to start making those bingo boards that you fill out, and it's like, okay, did he say X? Okay, and you try to get bingo.
I've already done it. I've got it.
I've
already got it printed out, and I'm crossing off the lines. That's 2 I've already got. So bring it on. So we got 2 minutes left while the silver guys are at the pointy end of their qualifying. So I guess I probably better let these guys do what they do, and let's cover and see how these guys finish themselves off.
Well, as you just mentioned, the silver drivers are starting to end their stint, and I'm looking down the times, and let me bring that up for all of you to see. Oops.
It's still only 149.
Yeah, so outside of a
there it is
149.8, 150.1, 150.1 again, and then a 50.2, and then from there the times just tumble. 50 and a half, 50.9, 51. Is this something
that's still a tight grid
that we find concerning?
No,
I think this is just that borderline weather here where it's trying to push as hard as you can in qualifying while also still trying to be conservative for the wet and managing staying on the dry line, because if you step off of it, it's an absolute nightmare. I think it's just what you expect from a wet race. Times are just normally not as close as you get in a dry situation, but even then, we're still only. I'd assume the 53.9 is a banker lap, not the optimal lap from Mr. Friday, but about 2.4 seconds to cover the field. Not too bad. These conditions.
That's still really tight.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because Mr. Friday's not going out, so I'm kind of intrigued. Maybe he's one of the drivers serving a quali ban and went out by accident.
The quali ban drivers are Schaefer, Kayat, and Banks. They're down at the bottom.
Interesting.
And
we
that's
should.
It for our guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Andrew. I just wanted to point out there are drivers tonight who are serving a quali ban due to accruing the points out of set for such atrocity, for such ban. We have 2, you said, Josh?
We have 3 silver drivers, and I don't think there's any gold drivers that are serving any qualifying bans.
So those drivers are going to start from the back, and then do we have any drive-throughs?
We have 1 pit lane start, and we have 1 driver who has been issued a stop-go 30, a penalty that has been added to the books to try and keep it as simple as possible. Severe lap 1 incidents involving multiple cars.
Release the hounds.
Not anything belligerent, but just things that ruined multiple people's races, and yeah, so that's what they've got for a penalty this race. We're experimenting with some new things and whatnot, so
yeah, it'll be interesting to see as we track these drivers that unfortunately got these penalties to see where they end up throughout the race. Mr. Steven Sarver had to serve a pit lane start in D4 and ended 9th. So anything can happen.
Dahy in the chat. But so our alleged fast guys are on the track, so they got 13 minutes to get it done. So they're laying down some bankers. So it's the same thing we always do here during kind of these first few minutes of the qualifying session. Here's the scoop. You're gonna like where this ends. Just follow me on this one. So, imperial colonialism in South Africa. All the usual suspects show up, but first are the Dutch in the 1600s. Mainly a bunch of farmers. They come to Cape Town, and they end up pushing their way northeast, farming the land. And they didn't have a lot of problems with the natives there because they were farmers. It wasn't a military imperialist takeover there. But of course, the British show up. And they've actually established colonies really around the southwest side of the tip of Africa, but they really were trying to keep the French from getting hold of there. The French had Madagascar covered. Now the Germans actually colonized what's now Namibia, which is up the west coast of Africa. But the Dutch actually created about 13 different states in that area, kind of peacefully. And the British show up, and in 1880, and then again in 1889. This is just after they ended up fighting the Zulu like crazy and lost some big battles, but they won the war. Over on the west side, they invaded right at Cape Town and pushed their way into all those farmers. Now, Boer is the Dutch word for farmer, so that was the First and Second Boer War. We've always heard about it. You know what? We don't know what it is. So they fought the 13 or so states that were Dutch controlled. One of those states was called the Orange Free State. Now, if you ever watched Dutch soccer, you know the sporting color of the Netherlands is orange. And so one of those states was called the Orange Free States. Of course, they lost, and the Brits ended up taking over. You know, by the time you get to the 1905, you start having what shaped up to be apartheid, which we hope we don't even cover these next 11 minutes. But anyways, so therefore, if you've watched, here comes the racing part. If you've watched the F1 race in Europe, all those Max Verstappen fans, they have all those flares that are what color? They're all orange. And because that's the Dutch colors, and there was actually, not too terribly far from here, was a war with the Orange Free State. So there you have it. There's your racing connection for the night. Ha!
That was very informative. Thank you.
Yeah, we're right north of Johannesburg. Of course, Johannesburg is, of course, a Dutch word. Right between there and Pretoria, which is actually the capital. And right below that is Lesotho and Eswatini, just to the right of that. Those countries are actually completely surrounded by South Africa. Odd to have a country within a country. There's two of them. I just wonder, how'd you get yourself in that position? You know, they're both Bantu-speaking countries, but how'd you get there? And don't you realize that, I guess, if South Africa's military, every morning they wake up, they realize they got them surrounded. You know, I think you just gotta give up, or just say, can you just pave us a road to the ocean so we can get our Amazon packages? I just don't know how that works. I want to ask somebody how that deal works, where you're surrounded. So anyway, but we are ready, and I've blown out the things. I've blown out 1/100th everything I had ready for tonight. So that's probably more than enough. So let's watch some racing. We're here for a race, aren't we? So here we go. I'm out.
We are, as Andrew's giving us wonderful history lesson. We watched Pav stick it onto pole with a 1:49.6.
Sweet.
And we have on camera right now Luik up half a second and goes second quickest with a 1:49.8. So now we have two gold drivers in the top 10. We watched prior, Bobby Brandon Substitution put it into fourth. We'll have to watch him for the rest of qualifying to see if he can improve any bit. But yeah, it seems like for the rest of the race, or for the rest of qualifying, 1:49, high 1:49, mid 1:49s is the mark.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that the rain is letting off any, so it seems like conditions are going to stay stable. I I feel like that's very beatable for these drivers. Or at
See,
least we're going to see a lot of people file into the space between that time and the 150.1 mark that is Cobb right now. This is definitely, I feel this race is a little bit more one where we'll see more golds towards the top. Driving in the rain takes, especially at these speeds, takes quite a lot of ability.
Yeah, as you were saying, Josh, you don't want to, and Substation takes second with a 49.7. Yeah, you don't want to, you don't want to lose concentration as you're going around, especially in the wet. God knows it happened to me a couple times, and I almost, got some brown marks on my pants.
Get him, Brandon. Hurry, boy. She's waiting there for you. That's 3.
Well,
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
definitely a
thanks.
few times last night where the brown flag was waved in my direction. But yeah,
Let's see
that's
my
the
brown pants.
beauty of wet racing. Anything and everything gets thrown at you, and you just kind of got to be ready for it.
So how many drivers we have tonight here?
So tonight we have, 1 second, I'm checking, 39. 39 drivers. And I watched, where did Mr. Bailey go? So I just watched him finish a lap.
Lewick 3rd, Michael Griffin, he's already put his times up as 4th, Austin Cobb 5th. These silver drivers are hanging in there. They've only got 6 minutes left. They gotta find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies, or they're going to end up lower down the grid than they thought. That's for.
Yeah, and we're on board with Jess Osborne, who was 3/10 up his time, and now is only a 10th up.
We're gonna wear that song out tonight, guys.
I have
You
a
can't
question.
wear that song out. It is so good. The classic.
You know, so Jeff Porcaro and David Page wrote that, and it's actually, they released it 40 years ago next week. It's hard to believe it's that long. I was 12. And that song almost didn't even make Toto 4. They hated the song, and they almost didn't put that on the, they almost didn't miss the whole album. They hated it. But Jeff Porcaro is the genius on that song. His 2-2 time is what makes that whole thing happen.
That is
You know, for
very interesting.
for Rosanna, what's also on that album. You know, I saw Ringo Starr's tour, which had Steve Lukather, who's the guitarist on that at Toto at the time. Of course, they played a couple of Toto songs. They played Africa. They also played Rosanna. And Ringo says the only way to play the drum part of Rosanna is to lean back on the drum kit. You lean backwards. He said if you lean forward, you can't play it. So if you watch, go to YouTube and watch Ringo and Matt Bissonette. There's 2 drummers, and they're looking at each other and laughing when they're playing because both of them are leaning back. It's the only way to get the little skiffle done on Rosanna from that record. They think it's hysterical that Jeff Porcaro wrote the drum part. You have to lean back to play. So, there you go.
Interesting. And
The stupidity goes on and on tonight, guys.
we had just watched Carlos Guzman take it up to 12th from 21st.
Right.
Very big improvement, massive improvement from him.
There's a few movers and shakers on the grid. A couple people picking up a bunch of time. Mike Scott right now, he's up 0.6 on his delta from 151.0, so that will bring him up towards the top 10, right in around there. But see Kevin Kovac just popped in below the 150s, so make that 4 gold drivers.
We have Loic Normandy right now on a banger lap. He was in the purples, and I guess he must have slipped because he was on pace to take pole away from Pav, but it is a Pav. Apologies.
He has 4 minutes and flying, guys.
So while qualifying is starting to quiet down, who do you guys have your eyes on for today?
Brandon Substitution. That's the guy. And Michael Griffin. That's the guys.
I like it. No hesitation, pure commitment. He's had those picks ready. He
It
knows.
sounds like
That's a
it.
true eye. I have no idea. Rain races, like I've been saying, can throw anything and everything at you. And that includes things like the leader just spinning off randomly. And
There's
so I think if I had to pick somebody who's gonna have a strong performance this week, I think Loic's gonna have another good push. He's been driving really well the last few weeks, and I think he's been enjoying the success. So being up there in P3 right now, which looks like it may hold, besides Kovac, who's got a good push going on at the moment. But I think he's gonna be looking for another good shot.
There's nothing that 37 drivers or more can ever do to keep my two guys from finishing up front. That's fine.
We have Kevin Kovac. I came onto him too late. Takes second from Brandon.
Nice.
Why do I say Bobby? Brandon Sobsician
Bobby
With the-
Sabi.
with the 49.66, 3/100ths of a second off of Pav.
Pav must have seen that because he has put his right foot down as far as it goes, and he's now 4/10ths up on his delta on his current lap. So are we about to see something close to a 48, or are we going to give him a little commentator's curse?
I don't know. Let's watch. You guys want to hear a fun fact?
Oh, we're ready.
So, in last night's race, it's about 15 minutes left. And I look to see how much fuel I have because, I put into my trusty fuel calculator app, gives me a number, and I don't think much of it. And it turns out I don't have enough fuel to finish the race.
Oh no.
And I'm in a call with my teammates, Philip Menzies and Josh Butler. And I'm like, boys, I'm not going to make it to the end of the race. I'm like, I'm on map 1. I don't know what to do. Josh Butler goes, real quick, map 5. I'm like, map 5? He goes, yeah,
There you go.
map 5. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, trust me. So I put map 5, and I was lapping about, I don't know, 50.6, like high mid 50s. Put on map 5, next lap 50.2. Don't know why it made me faster. So
Okay.
So for any D2 drivers listening, in the NSX, map saves fuel and guaranteed more horsepower.
Nice.
4 Hurspers cannot
Here
be
we go,
upset
guys.
with that.
There's we're at the end of it, and what's up with Carl Fredrickson? Is he really up 32 seconds?
I do not think so.
No, he's in the pit right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go.
He's in the pit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the pit load. I'm
It's
not
okay.
very smart.
It's okay.
There's a reason y'all don't let me touch any technology around here.
And Sobsician finished, put all of his laps in, and stayed third fastest. Seems like Kevin Kovac and Loic are trying to do one final push. Kovac just needs to find 3/100ths of a second, and I was just told that the mic cut out the perfect time for what map to use. Oh, and
It
Kevin
did.
Kovac.
Fiddles for
spun.
front row.
Did it really?
Oh yeah. Any NSX driver, use map. It's the best.
Trade secret.
You got it.
There we go, guys. So
Tips on board with Matt Morrison, who I think is the only person up on their time right now. If we want to pick up on him,
Oh yes, let's go.
he's up 4/10ths right now. Should bring him up towards P15.
And then
Coming around
Mr.
the final corner.
We have Mr. Hackey on the big screen, up 5/6 coming in towards. I'm sorry. Did you say the corner's name is Cheetah?
Cheetah. Wow.
You wouldn't happen to have any fun facts about why it's called Cheetah, would you?
No, that's part of the new track. I don't know why they called it that. They got the Wild Game Preserves. Oh, speaking of, okay, there's a TV show called Wild at Heart. I aired on ITV 10 years ago. I've seen all of them. So, anyways, and so that's a show that had Amanda Holden in it. Row, row. Yeah, she was kind of cute. Anyways, but it was filmed not far from here. It's about a family from England that vets, and they moved down and got started running a wildlife preserve. It was filmed right down the street here, and they always talked about how they had to go into Joburg to get supplies. Anyways, but that was just filmed right here, and so that's a cool program. So there's a whole lot of those wild game preserves right down the street from this track. And they filmed, and actually what it really took place was the Battle of Islandia, was the setting for the 1979 movie Zulu Dawn. That was filmed and actually happened just east of here. I actually went back and watched the whole movie this week. I knew I was doing this, so I watched it, and so that makes you wonder: you could judge somebody on whether or not they're a Peter O'Toole guy or a Burt Lancaster guy. So I'm Burt Lancaster. So there, great looking field here, guys.
Field is looking wonderful.
Very
The livery collection seems to be almost complete for the field, minus it looks like one car there. Very sorry, Landshark.
I swear I updated. I did the thing. I followed the rules.
The livery system has done great, but unfortunately is not perfect in some regards. It's good to see a lot of this beautiful artwork out here, though. A lot of these people work very hard on these liveries. I know Team McLaren's, which we saw 4 of them there, that black and silver representation of a... I'm horrible with old NASCAR drivers, but it's an old NASCAR. Took quite a while.
While we wait for them to start, something I noticed was we have a Honda Porsche grid. So we have a Honda sandwich. Porsche sandwich. What am I saying? English.
I think the Porsche is really good here, and Porsche is really good in the rain. And notice, it is raining. It's not dry. So, maybe, I don't see the forecast. I don't know if you guys can see the forecast or not, but...
Forecast. Rain.
I don't...
Looks...
Good. That way they don't have to worry about... There we go. It's going to get light, and it's going to get heavy again. But it's going to stay wet, so maybe it makes life a little easier for these guys, and they won't... They have more fun than we all had.
Definitely. It's always nice when you practice and prepare for a wet race to have a wet race, but at the same time, that is life. You can look at a forecast, put on a sweater because it's going to be cold, step outside, and the sun's shining. So, gotta be ready for anything.
All those guys in those new houses up on top of the hill got a good race to watch. Oh, my.
Oh, come on, system, work with me.
A few people get caught out by the rain here. Slipping and sliding.
Oh,
Alatufo in the Kevin Kovacs partnered Kramer Porsche. That's the Kramer colors.
So, I have a question. As the drivers get around to start the race, shall we put a camera and place it right on top of turns 1 through 3?
Oh, I'd leave it right there. That's where it's all going to happen, right in the Yuski sweep.
I think that would be very cool.
I wouldn't stand off track there because you will get hit with flying debris. I tell you, right where these guys are coming to right now, we'll talk about it later on, but, Tom Price died right there in 1977, and he killed, and a marshal died along with him. That was just terrible. It's shocking what a lack of safety just never occurred to organizers of racing at all levels until not too long ago. Yeah, he hit a marshal at a practice session, and the marshal was carrying a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher hit him in the face and killed him. And he flipped the marshal 15 feet up in the air and killed the marshal. It's terrible.
Interesting.
That was right there between what's now turn 5 and 6.
I remember a coworker bringing that up to me, actually, relatively recently. We were talking about motorsport incidents. And, yeah, it's very unfortunate.
He's the only Welsh guy to ever win a Formula 1 race.
Wow.
Here we go,
Guess
guys.
with every negative, you gotta find a positive.
I'm gonna let the smart guys take it away.
As I play with the cameras.
So Lucas is gonna try and get us over to a good
I'm
vantage point here.
trying to up production. Can I? Oh, I can't go backwards. That stinks.
Better figure her out. Coming down the main straightaway.
Yep. Here we go.
Double file, up to 70 kilometers an hour, holding speed, waiting for the lights.
Green light, green light.
It's green light, we're off and away for SRA. Couple cars battling already at what's considered turn 1, but it's just a kink in the road. Seems to be clean into the braking zone. Couple situations of 2 and 3 wide. But look at that.
That's
Clean filings,
relatively
couple cars
clean.
come together near the front. But a little bit of rubbing makes for a whole lot of racing. Oh, one car
we
sideways,
had
spinning off the
someone
track,
go
2 cars.
Oh lord. Okay.
Let's try and catch a replay of what happened there.
Button.
It's just
To
two
be
cars.
Pecheniak and Hatchie. But other than that, that's 2 cars off. The field is still running strong.
Let's watch.
Pav still holding onto the lead, followed by Subsission, Kovac, Normando, Griffith, Spetch, Dave, Cobb, Guzman, and Samito round off your top 10.
Okay, so on the big screen there is the replay. Turns out 1 minute was too much, so we'll get there real quick. Let's watch what happened with the heavy cam.
Hats off, guys.
That's
They make it through turn 1.
very strong filing from the grid there.
Okay, well, I guess didn't catch it. I apologize.
Hey, for mainly the biggest viewers that we have here are the guys that are watching it back. And if you're watching this back, hats off to you, every last one of you. A couple of guys got tangled, and it's just gonna happen. Especially
It always does.
in the Yuski suite. It's gonna happen. You can't avoid it. It's just inevitable. But that's about as minimal as you can possibly have. So hats off to you guys. You did it better than our crew did. And so if you're watching this one and you're not a member here, and if you hadn't subscribed to this channel, we would love for you to subscribe to the channel. But take a look at all the guys here. This is D2 Racing. These are the stars of Season 5. This is Season 4. These are the stars of Season 5. There's a lot of these guys going to be in D1 next season. They're just doggone talented. This is what we got here. So come join us. I think this is the preeminent home of DC Racing in North America, Central America, and South America. For if you're in this kind of time zone, get in the Discord and sub up here, and let's go have some fun.
We already have some passes taken. Lance Shark overtook Al Latifa for 25th. Oh, Latifa's dropped another to John Fogath. Got a train forming in the middle. Taylor Montague already up to 34th from starting from the pits. Not bad. Not bad.
For a track that they say is not really too great for overtaking, which seems to be the norm statement these days for a lot of tracks, the wet seems to open it up a lot, leaves a lot of room for opportunity as people venture on and off the dry line. So we see that Marlboro McLaren there squirming, catching a little bit of traction on one side of the car, a little bit of slide on the other side of the car.
Where was he that livery before? Here,
Race department? I'm not sure. It moves to the inside. Ooh. Filing across that curb gets dangerous in the wet here. That's a bold maneuver, but well taken from the McLarens.
The hardest corner on the track to get right. That's down at Crocodiles. It's the bottom of the mine shaft.
Down the inside, no contact. Sorry.
It's all off camber and it's all messed up.
As we leave Luke for a second, Guzman just passed Austin Cobb for 8th. So we're seeing some early changes in positions. Let's take a look at this. Battle for 25th. Foguth is 3/10 behind the Land Shark. But guys, your McLarens, please. We already had enough McLaren and McLaren violence in D4.
The McLaren just is taking a beating this season. There's not a lot of tracks that favor its BOP. The drivers seem to have been falling into some very unfortunate luck. For a car this car very quickly went from being the most overpowered car to the most unlucky car in SRA.
You could say that their drivers have developed some violent tendencies. No, I'm just kidding. Someone in D4 yesterday made a comment that the McLaren seem to have become magnets for each other.
Yeah, just a little bit. But we're as the very famous Scuderia say, we are looking into it.
As we finish lap 3, our top 10 consists of Pav, Sobsician, Kovac, Luik, Michael Griffith, Nate Specht, Super Dave, Jose Guzman, Austin Cobb, and Samido. And just as I was talking, Luik is battling Kovac right now for 3rd. Oh, and they hit.
Oh, the
no.
lazy slide. Oh.
Let's take a quick replay.
Looks like a little bit of contact at corner entry and
It seemed
Kovac.
like Normandy just lost it going into that corner. And it's now dropped to 7th.
He says it's going to take a lot to drag me away from you.
That's definitely what Kevin's saying to him, because even though they've come together and back onto the track, he's still right on his bumper. It's right into that battle with Super Dave in the front. OMG, it's Pav casually holding on to the lead still, lapping at least 7/10 faster than majority of the field. He's in a bit of a league of its own.
1.8 seconds to Substation 2 now. Pav and I, we were talking earlier. And the game plan was...
Oh, as Kovac goes off the track.
Was much of the same. Just don't spin.
Yes.
Just don't spin. You don't spin, you win. And here's hoping Pav does not spin.
You know, we haven't given that narrative love
so bad.
You know, he sat there and he's qualified on the pole. He's taken off, and you haven't given him any love at all. Because Pav is just always fast. If you say Pav's going to win, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of he's a ubiquitous response. You want to say somebody other than him because he always wins. So, anyways, but yeah, he's doing things he always does. He's qualified up front and he's taken off. So, you know, Pav, we hadn't missed anything. We're just sick of talking about you being up front all the time. That was a great race, bud.
It's all love from here.
It's all love. So there's a battle for 9th between Kovac, Guzman, and Samido right now. Kovac hasn't been able to go past the train, but Luik has recovered up to... Oh no.
Oh, Lucas, a little bit of contact.
Oh, Lucas Crinky, what happened? Let's go back 30 seconds. Coming into turn. Alrighty, let's see. Come on. Did I go on the wrong person? Oh, I did. Oh, I did not. Oh, Lord.
Oh.
little
Oh,
bit
no.
of con there.
Oh,
Fortunate place to have a car stopped, but good reaction from the field to move to the outside, and smart choice from the driver who spun to just hold that brake, wait for the safe chance to get back out there.
he was coming in on a 12:30 flight. So,
Sir?
I couldn't follow that one up. I was trying.
That's fine. That's whoever has their bingo boards out. Yeah, that's there you go. That's your next one.
yeah, can you tell we had this one circled on the calendar, guys? We've been waiting for this race for weeks and weeks, and we've had notes piled up for forever. So, thank goodness we finally got to do this one.
Ooh, Matt Morrison's. Where did he start?
He was about 15th to start, wasn't he? So he's about where he started from.
So as we
Matt started in 17th. He's up 4 positions at the moment.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So as we're about 5 laps in, so we're starting to settle into the race. Let's take a look at our big winners and losers based off of positions. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kyle Turner right now is up 9 positions. And Kevin Kovacs right now has lost 18 positions.
He most certainly has.
Started
It's a very
from
unfortunate start to the race so far.
Started from 2nd and is now 20th. So we'll keep an eye on these for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I want to see what's happening lower in the order here. So we got some very
yes.
interesting drivers that are right in the midfield, and some guys are in the back of the field that I really want to see and talk about, because there's a lot of interesting guys back there, from from Tyler Molyneux to Panchiniak, to Bailey Kish. There's a lot of guys back there that they can get around this place. They can get around any place.
Ooh, and there goes Almeida. I just forgot where the brake was, but did the smart thing and went left and off
That's
the track.
That's the hardest corner at this track, because there's not a great braking marker, and it's different in the rain than it is in the dry. But I think there's 150 and 100 or 150. I forget. But there's two markers, and you kind of got to be between them, and you got to have the car pointed a certain pitch to be able to slow down without losing the back end of the car, and still see if you can get that really, really off-camber right-hander, because you're kind of going over a hump to the right that goes up and down, and it's off-cambered. And that, you're not going to wreck there, because they've kind of sanitized the place. But, I like it they sanitized it to a certain extent. But you're not going to die there. But you're going to lose time. You're going to miss the thing half the time. It's kind of a brilliant corner, because it separates men and boys, and it separates those who can nail it and those who aren't nailing it.
It's definitely a track that challenges you all around, and that corner is one that bites you every single lap. No matter how many times you've hit it comfortably, come around the next time and it's a shot in the dark.
There's a glob of cars there.
You're right. It looks like Landshark has damage in the front, as well as Panchiniak.
Not sure about those two.
See, look up the...
Paulie Hartman and Kevin Kovacs come together.
Oh no. Kevin Kovacs.
Quick replay.
Thank you for catching that one. Let's take a look. Oh, slidey.
In that corner we were just talking about. It looked like Paulie had lost it under braking. Then Kevin was not able to react in time and just slid into him.
Oh, the McLaren, yeah. Oh god.
I know what happened to Kevin Kovacs, because we dealt... Oh, sure.
Yeah,
but,
Hartman looked like he's... Yeah, what Josh was saying.
Wow.
Just lost it.
I tell you, we learned something last night. I'm going to go ahead and share. The Porsche. I kept losing it at the same place. Coming out of New Cop, I wanted to over-rotate, just like Kevin did. And so anyways, I fixed it with your rain setup, stiffening the front springs, that would have absolutely changed what happened to Kevin there. If raised front springs for the Porsche in the rain, it fixes the power oversteer. It took me forever to. It took me forever to come to grips with that because it sounds wrong, but it fixed it.
But it feels so right.
Oh, it was beautiful afterwards. When I got that, my prep work was done. I actually hung the headphones up and said, "I'm done."
You just threw your hands up, took your hands off the steering wheel. You're like, "Up, there it goes."
My setup work is done.
Well, as we now check in on our leader, Pav. Surprisingly, he does not have the fastest lap. That honor goes to Lyric Normandu with a 48.9.
And he is currently still lapping in the 48s. His last lap was a 48.9 as well, but not the fastest one.
They're fast.
He's coming back with a vengeance. He's currently lapping almost a second faster than Pav, half a second faster than Griffith in front of him.
Well, here's a question for you. Do you think Pav is, maybe taking it a little bit slow, being a little bit more cautious, trying to make sure that he's not, putting that spin into his head, the possibility of spinning?
He's minding the gap. I think he's watching Brandon back there, just making sure that I think he's making sure Brandon's not catching him, about what he's doing. So, obviously I mentioned I didn't call it's Pav because he's the ubiquitous choice. But my two guys, Griffith and Substation, second and third.
Mike's coming for you.
Michael Griffith currently in podiums. He started, I believe, he's fifth and is now third. But it'll be interesting to see if Louis can catch up to him as we start the dreaded pit. Did any of you guys have issues yesterday?
No, I nailed it for a change.
Yeah, my pit went okay as well. I did see a few drivers in front of me spin coming into that into the pit lane. That first entry there, you come in and make a very sharp hairpin left-hander, and it's super easy to make the car spin around even with traction control on. But thankfully, I was not victim to that.
Yeah, that sharp turn caught me very much off guard. But we didn't hit the wall. So we're thriving.
Oh, Matt Morrison has stopped on track there. I wonder if he stalled the car.
There, I see it. He's at the same place. He's down at Crocodiles. You're not going to die there, but you're going to have problems there. And there he was sitting off the track, sitting kind of backwards. There it is.
Just spun and just waiting for all the traffic.
See, there's more cars that are just missing that corner so bad because it's so hard to get it right. See, if you look at it there, you see how it's cambered up all weird. See how these cars look at the right side of the car. See how it's all jacked up when they come through because it's unloading. It's unloading the right side of the. It's loading up the suspension. And it's unloading only the right side of the car. And now you're in the wet trying to do it too. So that corner should be illegal.
Should it be?
No, that's
just drive straight through it.
That's what makes it fun, though. That's what makes people have good lap times and bad lap times here is Crocodiles. Now, I wish there's more corners than that, like that. And, one of the reasons I told you it's my favorite place. One of my favorite reasons is I'm almost positive that Herman Tilke didn't have a hand in this joint when they redid it 2014, 15, 16 or so. He's the master of the sanitized track. I don't think they let him touch this joint, which is why it's so much better than all the other ones. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Not like it's any good reason or anything either,
He is the track driver he's a track designer whose name shall not be named.
Exactly.
Maybe we should go find this designer. Give him a piece more mind.
Well,
Hey, man.
Oh well, I think he's heard it from the racing world.
As he.
But has he heard what SRA has to say?
Ooh, and there goes Norman Dew. Nice pass on Griffith.
Look at that.
Tense battle for third as we drop to Super Dave fighting Samito for 7th.
Man, Loic looks good tonight.
Very tight battle. That Aston does like driving in the wet, and the McLaren very much does not like driving in the wet. But Zhao seems to pull every last bit out of that car.
So, quick weather update by Mr. Dahy. There is medium rain plus in 10 minutes, and then medium rain plus again in the next 30. I, for one, don't know what that means.
Well,
I'm just assuming it's just going to rain.
Well, it's going to rain, but it's going to get kind of light here in a few minutes. Then it's going to get heavier for the final stanza of this thing. So when we get around to the, to the second chorus and then to the coda at the end, there's a. Actually, said, see, there it is. He's at Crocodiles, isn't he?
No, this is coming off the straight. Coming first turn, second turn.
Oh, he is at the
The blind
UCC.
chicane.
And there's up to barbecue. Oh, I'll tell you what, if
Where
you
does
don't
he
get that
spin
right,
it?
you will. Well, barbecue's an easy place to over rotate, especially in the rain.
Ooh, maybe here.
Sunset.
Spin it. I hope I caught it.
There he's through Sunset. Heading up to Clubhouse.
I don't know. I apologize. Wow, I really thought I caught that one. Oh, and Nuik just put down a 48.8 as he's chasing down Substitution.
Talk about a man on a mission.
On board with Russell Allen trying to fight gold for 11th.
I think Loic's moonlit wings are reflecting the stars that got him towards salvation tonight. Hey,
So lads, it's almost that time again. T-minus 3 minutes before the pit lane opens.
yeah. So okay, who needs to pit win, guys? Y'all are the smart guys.
I think.
no.
I think it early.
Pit
No,
early.
no. Well, now last week, Griffith had a big lead. He pitted early, and he came out in traffic, and it still worked out for him because he was beating everybody so bad. I think if I'm Pav's, Brandon's position, and Griffith, I want to, and even Loic. Gosh, Loic's killing tonight. I think those four, I'm going to stick around and stay out a little bit because nobody's holding them up. I don't think I want to get back into all that gaggle you're seeing right there. With Jess, Fickert, and Lloyd. Bunch of guys fighting their guts out back here.
Oh, this is spun for a while.
Rory of Kayat.
Oh, right there. Where okay. Oh, the third iteration of the they kept reconfiguring this place between barbecue and Sunset, 25 and 6. Right there. See that? There's right there on the stream. You see that's the pit exit. They actually had pits there for like 10, 15 years before they built the new place down on the lower side of the hill. So right there between 5 and 6 is where they used to have the pits. And y'all, right on cue, y'all had the pit exit. They've got a wall there now, but you can still see where the pavement came in and out there.
We're on board right now as a train of Jess Osborne, Andre Lloyd, Carlos Guzman, John Frogith, Jose Guzman, and Kyle Turner, Taylor Montague, and Anthony Ricker are all together. So if someone makes one bad move, they could gain a lot of positions or lose a lot of positions.
How far behind the leader are they? Is this gaggle?
This gaggle is... that's a good question. How can I tell?
I think it's right at 30 seconds or so is the pit delta if you come and take 1 liter of fuel for those scoring at home. So if they're around 30 seconds back, and if our leaders here in 58 seconds decide to come in, that's the gaggle they're going to walk. They're going to, pull right out into.
That may not be optimal, especially with the lap times that they're currently running.
I'd want those guys to pit first and get themselves squared up before I came in. If I was in that top 4, maybe top 5, those guys are running their own race, and none of them are holding each other up. So I want to go as fast as I can, as long as I can, before I risk getting into this. And if Pav loses 5 seconds, getting tangled up in traffic, he's lost a race.
We haven't. We'll put the camera on Michael Griffith for now.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much of him tonight. We keep seeing him back and forth battling with Loic.
See, they're
Pit
not.
windows open.
See,
So
they're not holding each other up. They're just flying.
very true. So, do you think they'll stay out
They ought
because
to.
they have all this space?
Now, I did not get an A in algebra, but I think those guys need to stay out. I want to meet algebra. I was like 40 before I realized it was Arabic. But algebra actually ruined my 8th grade year. Thank you very much. I never much of a word with him.
Yeah, I learned that when Loic and Michael Griffith went into the pits at the
Wow.
same time. Interesting, very interesting. Nate Specht followed right behind him. So Sobstation and Pav are out right now, and I believe this is a tracked undercut.
Yes, it is. But are they going to end up in traffic? That's what
No.
scares me on the undercut. I tell you, we're going to find out if I pass algebra or not. I bet I won't. Here he is.
Oh,
Griffith,
there goes
perfect
Loic.
stop.
Specht. Seems like Specht got in front of Griffith off the pit.
Yes, he did. Griffith's going to follow him out, let him know he's there. Run! All right, hurry, boys. Waiting there for you.
Okay, good news. It works now. It works. It's now greed. So now you guys know when people pit. I'm sorry. This is huge. It's been bothering us for a while. Apologies.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
referring to the graphic showing who's pitted and who has not pitted.
Yes, sir.
We now know who's clean. So, where did they come out? Griffith and Speck are they're in free territory. That worked out for them.
Oh.
Look at that.
It,
Oh, and they're on it.
it looks like Griffith may have either messed up his pit or took more fuel than he wanted, because it took him 11.8 seconds to finish his pit. And
Yeah, he got
Speck
jumped.
with 7.9. So that extra 4 seconds almost that Griffith lost let Speck get the jump on him.
Well, now they both lost time because if you're just a little new here, you should be stopped for 3.2 seconds. And if they were stopped for 7 or 8 or 11, they might have had a little damage. They might have wanted to just turn off, because track position is everything for these top guys, and they just can't. It means a lot more than a little bumper damage or a little aero damage. You got to Fredrickson's in. Hey, Dahey in the chat, thank you very much. Norman do 30 seconds, Speck 33, Griffith 38. So Loic probably is going to sort out himself around third again.
Well, it depends what the gap is to first, though.
It's currently 28.6 seconds, so that's inside the window.
28.6. It takes about 26 seconds start to out of the pit. If you have a perfect pit, it should take about 26 seconds.
I don't see anybody on the board at the moment with a pit under 30 seconds. The shortest ones are Matt Morrison at 30, Norman Doe at 30, Spetch at 33, 34 from Scott. So I think 30 may be a more realistic number.
If you miss your box, you're going to lose 5 just immediately.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
So, the undercut is looking good,
It
and my
might.
math is looking bad.
Well, you said the gap to first was what, 28?
28.
Yeah, they got a
So
Pav
it's
and
right on the
Brandon.
cusp.
Pav and Brandon need to be banging out laps, but
Yes,
I
they do.
think that right now our early pitters have no traffic in front of them, and they're banging out laps. So we're about to find out when in 5 minutes and 34 seconds, when we get a straight fight on our hands, we're going to find out what's going on, and that's when the fun starts.
Looks like Jose Guzman and Jess Osborne came together at the top of the hill.
Did it just happen?
It's
Yep.
past now.
Yeah, they grew restless longing for some solitary company, I reckon.
Sorry, everyone.
As we see Samito, Dave, Allen, and Colin Holmes, or Chris Holmes, come into the pits. Normando now into 5th with 27.7 seconds to the leaders. Just did a 49.3. That sets him as the fastest driver on track at this time.
Oh,
It looks like he may net this lead.
our pitters did it right, didn't they? That's why they don't listen to me.
Yeah, it was interesting because we were doing the practice race on Monday, and someone had suggested that maybe this was an undercut race, and we were like, no, that's not right, and it turned out to be true. It was in fact an undercut race.
Well, we're learning something here, aren't we? Very interesting. 5 to 6 tweet. I'll tell you, it's going to be Pav and Brandon are going to have to nail their stops.
I think even if they do nail it,
The position's lost at this point.
may
Loic has to
be.
make an error at this point. He's creeping into 26 seconds now.
oh wow,
Back from the leaders. It's gonna be Pav and Brandon fighting back to the lead at this point. It doesn't look like they'll come back behind Colin. He's 36.5 seconds back, but an
So we know
error
where-
put him out of contention.
So we know where the line's drawn here. So anyway, and, we got somebody mentioned that Colin Shea's killing it. Yeah, Colin's up there.
Colin is
great
having a
night.
great race up in 6th place right now, as he
Absolutely.
just gets passed by Nate while Colin comes into the pits.
he's in the pit. The leaders are still out. I believe the pit window closes in a couple minutes. 2-3 minutes. So the next couple of laps we should be expecting the leaders to come in.
Pip's on board with Pav right now. We can watch for when he comes in.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is I want to know when those two guys come in, and do the two leaders come in on the same lap? They're about to have to.
They're gonna have to.
At this point, they have to now. And that lead has not moved from between 1.5 and 2 since the race started. So Pav is, I said he was minding the gap. He may not be minding the gap. Brandon may just be just driving him crazy.
I believe that the strategy this race was to go in as early as possible.
Wow. Now,
Oh, I think we're gonna have to let this play out. Loic has made a mistake,
As
and
you notice the gap.
I don't know if it's big. At a 50.6, and the gap is now 28.5.
28.5. We'll have to
As
watch.
Brandon comes into the pits. Let's watch where he comes out. Remember that 1.5 gap.
yeah. Can Pav? Where's Pav? Can he get around again? You've got yeah, you can. You got
It's
a
gonna
minute
be
50,
tight.
Soldier. Oh, he can get
Can't
there.
afford an error.
Austin Cobb's in. We're waiting for Clark Gould to come in. He's running 4th. He's in. So there it is.
Pav stayed out for another lap.
You know,
Did stay out.
I'll tell you, the big trouble with that is, what if he slips?
No, the gap right now is 29 seconds.
And
First.
with that gap size of about 28-29 before the pit, Substation comes out almost 4 seconds behind Normando. So subtract the 1.5. Pav
So-
might end up in second place.
Substation also had a very long pit, 12.5 seconds.
Could be fuel related. He was very
Stationary.
clean.
I don't know, maybe.
That's what's
How long would half fuel take? Maybe he did half fuel.
30. Close to
No,
30.
you can take a full tank of fuel in under 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Because 12.5
Could
is
be.
made me suspect it could be he did half.
That is possible. That may be a question for the post-race interviews right there. Hopefully he stays up on the podium so we can get a few extra questions, but
Oh, where's Pav? He's got 25 seconds to get himself across the pit entry line.
coming in right now
Let's watch Narik. See
as the Pip rides with Pav.
where he comes out.
The race is afoot, everybody. Now already. If don't go anywhere, for goodness sake. Now we got a
Coming up to
4-man.
Cheetah.
Did you know he's now close?
At least a 4. Oh, he's got
Oh
it
my,
covered.
he got in just in time. Oh, Narik
with
is
5 seconds.
He's trying to push it. Oh, he knows.
Yes, he does.
Pav is coming
Oh.
towards the pit exit, crosses the line. He's driving onto the main straightaway now.
That
You
slipped
see
by
Loic in the
Oh,
background.
wow.
Very close.
4.6 seconds. You said that, didn't you, Josh? That he'd come out about 4 seconds.
Well, that was the gap from back to Brandon. So that must have been that difference in pit stop, but wow.
It's interesting because now our top 5 is very spread out. 3.6
Very.
seconds to Pav from Narik. Brandon's about, I'd say, about 5 seconds behind Narik. Nate's spec is about 5 seconds behind Brandon himself, and Michael Griffith's about, okay, maybe these times are wrong. No, I think they're right, 5 seconds. So everyone's about 5 seconds spaced out after the pits.
I
The
present
only
you the smart guys.
gaggle I see is 20th.
20th, let's scroll down. Oh,
Nice big train of cars.
Hey, this has been a very competitive race. Everybody's strung out, but they're close. There's battles everywhere, and I mention this every week. But if you're watching this and you're not part of our league, there's nobody taking each other out. D2 race, you guys are pretty good. There's nobody taking each other out. Yeah, it's raining like cats and dogs. People are going to go around, and Cheetah's a nasty, illegal turd. You shouldn't have that. That should be illegal in racing because that's off camera. But what a fun race to watch. It's all afoot now.
Definitely. And not taking each other out is obviously a very open and widespread statement over just the overarching respect that we can see from driver to driver here. That people want to make moves, people want to win the race, but nobody wants to cause a collision in the midst of it, because that doesn't do any good for anybody. And it's great to see.
If you're watching,
It makes for a great show. And moves like that. Great
Clean.
overtake from Kevin Kovac there.
yeah, it's a
It-
shame what happened to Kevin this race.
Just a little bit. It's always a shame when
Qualified
when
second.
Mother Nature gets in your way.
Yeah, qualified second is now down to 30th.
that's why it's fun to call these races as a broadcaster, because we get to watch a race. This wouldn't be any fun if we were sat here and talked about somebody getting taken out every 30, 40 seconds or every other minute or every lap. 'Cause that's no fun to call either. But when
Yeah.
you call a race, that's fun. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. This
Oh
is,
no.
Oh, Kevin, good
Oh,
catch.
Oh,
Good catch.
Wonderful catch.
oh. I think I clinched on that one.
Oh,
I know
think
I
we all
did.
did. Oh, we all did.
And while
this
we're
race,
while we're clenching, Normando's down to 2 seconds from the leader.
yeah, I was gonna say, and this race is also exciting because Narik could take first from Pav if he can catch up to him in the final 20 minutes of the race.
Still up and strong under 150. Doing a 149.7 on the last roundabout.
Hurry, boys, waiting there for you.
Well, the top
Beat me
three.
to it.
God. Jesus Christ. Pav with a 149.3, Lurik 49.2, Substation 49.3. So they're all, when they're at their very best, about a tenth off. From one.
As the Pip watched the replay of Carlos Guzman catching the inner apex curve in Sector 2. It's
We
a
have
spin maneuver I know all too well, as that's what caught me out here last season in the dry. Unfortunately, that accident pulled the shaft of my DD out, thanks Fanatec, and that ended my race very fast.
Oh no. We have on board Dustin Fickert. Looked like he had an accident.
who's he at?
Oh, car step out on him? No. The
Let's
overtake
see.
on
It's
Colin.
around here somewhere.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that was.
That's a weird one.
Mm.
Yikes.
Netcode maybe?
I wonder if it's netcode or if the car was just oversteering out of the corner and he couldn't catch it.
God, and come out to another one. Jose Guzman.
The tire wear
hello.
is starting
There
to
it
eat
is.
people alive here.
Same
I
corner.
tell ya.
Same spot.
See, there's down at Crocodile.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, hold the
Get on the
brakes.
brakes. Oh lord.
Good reaction from the field.
He held his brakes. Hey, when the worst happens, still, he did it right. Oh, he's high-sided it.
He's trying. I think that's going to be one for the stewards to have a look at tonight. They've had some busy nights in the last few weeks, but I think this week is a nice sigh of relief for them.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. A few people spinning off here and there, but a lot of self-inflicted wounds.
So someone we haven't
called his number.
talked about a lot tonight. Bailey Kish started 25th. Is now 19th. It's not a
Strong.
bad race.
Nope, not at all. And he's on the back of Fickert right now. Only 3/10 back.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that Fickert's gonna have to give the position. Car's damaged.
I think so too. But he's not going to give it lightly, that's for sure.
No,
Fickert
no.
is still a racer at heart. But yeah, Kish, very, very talented driver, puts a lot of hours in practice. And it may only be 5 or 6 positions, but that's tough in a division like this. When the
Yes.
skill sets are so tight.
And he's the resident D4 caster. We actually have 2 of them
Woot
in this
woot.
race.
We also have our resident Division 1 caster of Paul A. Hartman, stuck down in position 32 after coming together with a couple other cars earlier on in the race, but still holding out strong. That McLaren looks shiny as ever, so it seems his second half has been a little bit better.
Sorry, we get on board with Lester Banks. Looks like he had to spin.
Like he and Almeida are
Let's see what
coming.
happens. Show us spin. Oh no.
Dude.
But it looks like
For the-
it looks like he waited.
Oh.
He gave the position back.
And then stalled the car, unfortunately, trying to get back on power.
Yes.
Luke-Cop's also very off-camber, and you get to the top of the hill, and you almost can never tell exactly where you need to brake because there's no brake marker because it's a blind hill. If you wait till you see the curbs there, you've almost waited too late. It's another challenging. That's why I love this place. It's so challenging.
Looks like we're having another incident after a very good first half of the race.
You guys are right. These tires are toast.
Mac on Mac of Violence for $5, please.
Ah.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
The Jeopardy
Oh.
categories are getting very cost effective tonight. What has the economy done?
I don't know. Oh, and here's Pav trying to overtake a back marker, and we haven't talked about him, but Larique has closed that gap to 2.6 seconds.
It was
16
down
minutes
under
left.
2 seconds for a little bit there. His pace has come back. I wonder if he's trying to save the tires for a late race push here. Still 16 minutes.
Maybe.
My
And
two
Brandon
guys are third.
substitution behind Larique by 11 seconds. Yes, Shark's livery is missing. I did the sim program, and sadly, it did not appear. It's Big Sag.
Did not show up for me either. We apologize.
Yeah, so the race is afoot here. We got Loic that's 2.3 seconds behind. I'm dying to know if he can close that gap up more.
I think he can. His pace has been more consistently below the 150 mark, and once in a while he steps up to a 150 lap, whereas Pav seems to be doing a little bit of the opposite here in the late stage of the race. So I think it may be slow and towards the last couple laps, but I feel like that gap is going to come down. As I say that, he cuts half a second.
Nice. I think
1.6.
Pav is frightened of that thing he's become. That's 11.
So, something I want to point out. I know it's not the most relevant of data, but the leaders are on lap 24. When you look and you scroll down and you scroll down and you scroll down to see what the laps everyone else is on, the person in 37th is on lap 22, so only 2 laps down. And I think that's pretty impressive. Now 23, so only 1 lap down.
That is very close, considering we had, I think, 5 laps worth of split in D1. By the time we were done with everything, oh yeah, there was quite a few splits. But yeah, between the spins, between little bits of contact here and there, the grid's been fighting back, and to only be 1 to 2 laps down across the entire thing, caps off to you guys. D2 is a heck of a field of drivers.
It's amazing. I just got asked what mic I use. The Solo Cast, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, the HyperX Solo Cast.
The mic connected to my Logitech headset, it's better. No.
Yeah, the mic on my Arctic headset was dying, so I kind of needed something else.
Stand mic is way better every day.
Seconds to Pav. 13 minutes to go.
I have a question. A lot of that time just got gained on the straightaway. Is Pav fuel saving?
He could
look
be
at
fuel
the pace
saving.
difference right now. He just gained 4/10 in that corner.
Oh gosh, wait a sec. Okay, so it's happening the next 2 laps. You know what he could be? You know what he could be doing? Do you think he might be running 1 wing back? So instead of 12 is what the NSX max is at, he's running an 11.
That was the first thing I thought of, is who's running different wing. So, but he's not gaining it back at the corners any. I wonder if his tires are shot.
Who's?
I don't know. I don't know.
Pav.
It doesn't look like he has any pull out of the corners. His turn-in confidence seems to be about the same with the car behind him, and I'm assuming they're running the same, considering those liveries show they're in the same conglomerate.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Oh, Larique is running the setup I gave him, and that should be max wing.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so that mystery was solved. Okay, yeah, so it's max wing. He could be Pav could be running map 5. However, from what I remember, map 5 actually gave you more confidence with the car because it wasn't putting as much power down. So I don't know why the gap. Maybe Larique is running map 5. That I don't know.
I think his car looks a little nervous, or a little careful.
I think it looks very careful right now.
So
Almost
you guys are thinking fuel save.
I think fuel save is in his books.
If only he knew about map 5.
Gotta add that to the list of SRA sayings to be turned into merchandise. Map 5. If only he knew about map 5.
Only he knew about map 5. As we turn off the leaders for a second, we're going to watch Austin Cobb try to take 5th place from Sir Michael Griffith.
I tell you, I've been watching people in the chat. We've had people on the stream here, so we've had a pretty consistent amount of people. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spending your Wednesday evening with us. I mean, you could have watched Nick and the Afraid reruns. You could have watched Dr. Pimple Popper on demand, like my wife's probably doing right now. You could have watched anything any of these exciting programs, but you spent the night with us, and we're very happy you did it.
Yes, we are so happy.
Always appreciative of your attendance, and without you guys here coming to watch, all of this is for nothing. So this is more a cap off to y'all than a cap off to us. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week. That's for certain.
Well, I hate it because we've got guys in the midfield. We just haven't called the number up. We got everybody from from Christian Holmes to Abe to to Anthony Aurora to Lucas Cranky to we mentioned Colin Shea, Bailey, Guzman, and John Foguth. I loved him with the Creedence Clearwater Revival. That was fantastic. We haven't called their names like we should because they're in the midfield, and frankly, they haven't had any offs. They haven't had any problems. They just run consistent races, and it's almost like if you don't get on TV, you had a great day. So anyway, so sorry we hadn't got you guys and a lot of others on on the call, but it's because you've been so doggone consistent and you've been stealthy. Oh, hang on, there's stuff happening in the front.
Yeah, no, it was a mistake. But you should flip to the lead, yeah. Normando went for a move on its PAV in turn 1, made a mistake in the braking zone, and the lead has been flipped back to normal. But the fight is on.
And so I hate it for the guys in the midfield, but at this point we got 9:24 left, and I don't think we can take our camera off what's happening in the front. That's where the Lewick has line of sight on PAV.
Definitely. I'm going to try and keep the pip on what's going on in the midfield. I got P25 here chasing down 24. That's Palient and Cheniak. These Porsches are fighting their way through. That Pac-Man livery is really cool. I'm happy to see that for the first time out here. Sorry we took 4 races to get it going.
Ooh, their tires are dying.
So we'll be alternating on the big screen around 3 fights. Mike Scott for trying to take 7th away from Semido. Austin Cobb fighting against Michael Griffith for 5th, and Lurik fighting against Pav. So we'll alternate amongst the 3 for the last 8 minutes in this race.
I think they just lowered Griffith's tires into the Royal Vault at Westminster Chapel. I saw him just with a big, massive slide. His tires about be goners.
There's a few people suffering from that, and I think Loic may be one of them from all the pushing. He's back to a 2.5 back now.
Hang in there, Loic.
So we got Austin Cobb at 6th, and we haven't talked about Joel Semedo, who's just quietly just sat around and gotten his work done. Good job. And Mike Scott, top 10. And Russell Allen, top 10. These guys have been stealthy.
You know what's funny? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 drivers so far that are still in the position that they started with. Pav in 1st, Substation 3rd, Griffith 5th, Cobb 6th, Molyneux 22nd, Latufa 26th, and then Kyle Turner 35th.
Pete Speck has been awfully stealthy tonight. He slipped in and got ahead of Michael Griffin, I think, on his tires, which are really struggling. Which has got Austin Cobb crawling on him now as well. But Nate Speck's always there. You can bank on he's there.
I'm sorry, where? Where is he?
Nate Speck, he's in 4th.
He's anywhere and everywhere that the action is. He finds a way to get himself up and through. Like you're saying there, Andrew, he doesn't find any trouble. He doesn't find the biggest action, but he just kind of sneaks his way through and finds himself up in the good spots.
I like that. I like a guy that can stealthily just turn the laps. If I was running a team in real life, I want the guy that doesn't wreck the car, that always finishes close to the front. Richard Petty said, all you can do is put yourself in position for a great finish, and he always does. shout out to Nate for being in position all the time. But Mike Scott has something to say about that.
Mike Scott's another driver that's always seems to have his car in the right position at the right time. Last season he ran into a few series of unfortunate luck with the Ferrari, but same sort of deal applies to him. He just finds his way through the field. He's talented. He knows how to avoid an incident, and yeah, capitalizes on every opportunity he gets given.
Teammates right behind him. Super Dave. Go, Super Dave.
Gotta give massive credit to Michael Griffith. Austin Cobb has been at least half a second behind him for the past, like, 4 or 5 laps. It's been very close racing between these two.
Normandy making no progress getting back to Pav. We're watching that for everybody here.
Let's see what's happening amongst everyone else.
All right, we're going to blow them out here. We didn't talk about Desmond Tutu, who I love. I'm a big Craig Ferguson fan, and Craig Ferguson said that Desmond Tutu changed his life when he appeared on his TV show to do an interview. So I think he's a great read to find out what Desmond Tutu's all about. We missed Nelson Mandela. You can't talk about South Africa without Nelson Mandela. Hats off there, guys. We missed so much. I had like 6 hours of stuff.
You had what?
I had like 6 hours of things backed up, so I got pages and pages. I didn't even touch it.
No, we're on board with Cranky. Looks like he lost it.
All I have to say to that is, can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Oh, there go the pages. They went flying across the room.
All right. Do you have the lyrics up on like a second screen or something? Oh, and he just completely. Ugh, shame.
I do not.
Shame. There is a brake pedal. Everyone, please. Just hit it.
But yeah, the notes on preparation is part of what makes these broadcasts what they are, and it's a lot of background work that most people don't see or realize that goes into this, and I know Andrew puts a lot of work into it.
Brought to you by Preparation H.
Yes, indeed. Wouldn't you hate to be the guy that tested Preparation G? Hey, not working!
Uh-oh. Don't mean to cut you off, Andrew, but it looks like Normandy caught up to Pav.
He's back.
Oh, he's right on his tail.
Last 3 minutes. Oh, lordy. Let's get that bonnet cam going. Oh, this looks terrible.
Loic looks like he wants it done now. He does not want to wait.
Looks like he's more comfortable coming off the cheetah than Pav.
He's like a wild dog crying out in the night.
They've got about 2 more laps. 2 more laps.
Might be some action here at turn 1. Looks like he's got a run on him.
Don't touch that dial.
Oh,
Switchback opportunity. Looks for it down the inside. Not
I
close
like
enough.
that line. I like that wide line there.
I like where his brain's at.
Pav,
Yeah, it looks like Pav is not that confident.
he's careful.
Cobb and Griffith start swapping spots in the clip.
Does he go to gear 3 here? Yes, he does. Loic goes down to gear 3.
I feel like if you're this close to him, you don't want to make any mistakes now.
Down to 2, like he should. Pull. Pull! Lap and a half to get it done, Loic.
How much do you think the back markers are going to play into this fight?
I think they may be integral in this. There's not many opportunities to make a clean overtake when you're this close on pace. And it seems that the major advantage that Loic has is in Sector 2.
Griffith went around. The tires finally got
Griffith
him.
did go around.
Oh, no.
Catching a replay of that in the pip here. Oversteer. Just kept going. Thankfully got himself off the track
And
before
it's
collecting
fallen
anybody
down
else.
to 10th.
He's done that several times to that corner.
Oh,
All
here
right,
we go. First back marker coming onto the
Hey, can
main
they
straight. Last lap. Last lap. If he's going to make a move, it's going to be now.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap.
He's out of the way. Friday's out of the way. Hope they can see it because that Lexus is camouflaged. Glad they can see it. Well done, Friday. Hats off to you.
Oh, and they come together in
and
turn one. Pav is around.
And if
Normando's gonna wait for him.
Yeah, okay. Wow, sportsmanship. Wow.
Well done, everybody.
Oh, and they almost come together again.
Those are teammates right there. Wow.
Yes.
There's another
does-
reason to come race around the track with us, guys.
He does not. Wow, he wanted to gain that position fair and square.
Yep. And that's regardless of teammates. That's I've seen that done many a times here. There's nobody's benefiting from making a move like that.
Oh, Guzman is. As we watch the leaders finish their lap, Norman who really is trying to push it.
Oh, no. Hey, he's got a half a lap to go. Down through the S's. Here we go. Let's call the last through the S's. Back up the. Oh, he through New Cop. Down the mine shaft. Well, I'm sorry I had more fun than everybody else did.
That's part of what makes the broadcasts what they are, man. We
Oh
gotta
no!
find some energy
Oh.
somewhere.
Ooh,
Holds
ooh.
on to it right
Oh
at the end there.
my
Bring it home for P2.
Gosh!
What an end to that race.
Wow! What an end!
Has finished the race.
I
Claps
had
for those
fun.
lads.
Oh,
Don't have a hat, but
wow.
I'm taking it off anyways.
Here comes Substation rounding out podium, followed by Spect,
Take P4.
Cobb.
So while we watch
Wow.
everybody come
What a
in, I'm gonna
race.
quickly go over podiums because they seem to be pretty locked by distances. Gold drivers, we've got Pav, Normando, Sobsician. And for the silver class, we've got Cobb, I believe, taking his first divisional win. Super Dave taking P2. And Mr. Gold taking P3 for the silver class.
Yes, sir. What a finish! What a finish! And for all you stat trackers out there, Luik had fastest lap with a 49.6.
That's moving.
Luik had a fastest lap with a 48.8.
Wait. Oh. Okay. My program's
Even
wrong.
faster.
Even faster. My program's wrong.
You
Well, if you
heard it
didn't like
wrong,
that-
folks. This man went faster than you thought was already impossible.
Oh, quick last second fight for 15th. Guzman couldn't beat Bailey. Lucas Krinky 17th. Kevin fell from second.
There comes Kevin.
Pencheniak
Finishes
makes the pass on Colin Shea
18th.
at Cheetah, and he also loses to Palliant to fall back to 24th. The last battle on track. Oh,
Look at
that's
that,
heartbreak in the
Pasternak.
last few corners there.
Shea. Oh, and everyone's just in the pits. Last car to come across. And there it is.
Hey, we like Friday. Well played by him. Yeah, you're going to be a back marker at some point. Everybody's going to be. So very classy move from Friday on the next to last lap. Hats off to him.
Yes. And as
And
we
if y'all didn't like that, you're in the wrong place.
That's for dang sure.
well, as we bring it back to the booth, who do we? I feel like I want to talk to both Pav and Loic at
Well,
the same
of course. Well,
Get 'em.
at the same time, we can if we want to.
time. I think we should talk to them at the same time. What do you guys think?
Get him.
All right, let's see. There's Luik. There's Pav. Okay, if I grab Luik, can one of you two drag Pav into the call?
I got Pav.
Okay, I got Luik. Let's
I
go.
missed him.
Oh gosh.
I got Pav.
Okay, bring him up.
Here we go. Let's see. I missed him. Here we go.
Yeah. No, sorry, I didn't want it to crash into
Wait.
there.
Where did he go? Oh, he's in the wrong spot.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Is it for D2?
Yes,
Hello,
this
hello,
is
hello.
this is D2. Pav, Luik. We'll start off by saying, what a finish!
What,
Yeah,
never mind what a
seriously.
finish. What a race from both of
Seriously.
you.
What a explain to me, Luik, what happened? What went through your mind when Pav had his little accident?
Well, fuck. Pretty much. Yeah. Other than that, just like, I'm gonna let him by because substitution wasn't even on my MFD. So, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him by. I have time. So, yeah.
Well, that was very nice sportsmanship. Pav, put it on poll.
Yeah, man. Finally.
It's how does it feel to finally not spin that much?
Honestly, this is so ironic that Honda is so stable in the wet, but I can't do it in the dry.
Wait
But-
a second. Wait a second. Say that one more time. If Mr. Austin Sawyer is listening, say that one more time.
Honda is great in the wet, but in the dry, I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What
That
what
was
about you, Luik?
sketchy. That was sketchy. I could have got Path, but you know, I'm a good guy. I'll let him win. You know.
You let him win.
Yeah.
Well,
it-
let's just say that as nice as Luke is, he did tap me in the back, which is why I had my little accident. So he, I didn't just randomly spin out at the last lap of the race.
Well, then we are from the view that we had. It kind of looked like he just spun.
No, he did tap
Mhm.
me.
No, I kissed him. It was a love
Oh,
kiss.
you gave a little kiss.
Yes.
Well, before we let you go, Lurik, you had a interesting race. Started towards the top, but then you fell down a little bit.
Yes.
Then you made your way back up.
Yes. So I think
Confidence?
It was P9.
Confidence builder?
Yeah, I'm confident when I race. You know, I tell myself I'm gonna crush everyone, and I just go on, and it's like, yeah, just don't think about where you are, and just continue to try to get some places back, and go slowly, but they'll pay off at the end.
Well,
But did y'all have half as much fun running that race as we did watching that race?
Yes.
Kind of.
Well, maybe not for Pav, but me, yes.
I don't think I've sweated this much in a while, honestly. Like the first half, I was just trying to keep concentration on, and then when I saw Luke just slowly driving the wheels off of that car, I'm just like, okay, I gotta start picking up the pace. But then he just kept creeping up. I'm like, whoa, this is gonna be fun. And then the first dive bomb that he did, that is psychological warfare 101. I thought we were both gonna die.
Is
Me too. Okay, me too. I'm sorry.
just asking, is that the one where Luik, you went kind of deep into turn one?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yes.
The
like
the
really
pip was
deep.
following you, but it didn't really catch it too well. I just saw you turn late. Did you move to the inside, or what happened in that move?
I was kind of in a crazy. I was like, wait, what the fuck do I need to do? I don't know why. I just break at the same place I wanted to. I didn't even wanted to overtake Pav in the first corner at the base, but I don't know why. Maybe I locked up the wheel and I just went straight on, and I had like not even a second to think what I needed to do. So
Well, big ups to you for being able to avoid the collision, even though you weren't able to make the corner.
no, I would say Pav did the job to not hit me.
yeah. Well, regardless, Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
P1 and
Thank you.
P2.
You guys are great.
Team Dadman represent.
Team Dadman represent.
It was fun.
Alright,
It was fun.
I'll put you guys back down to race chat 1. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there they go. Oh,
And Brandon,
hello.
are you around?
Podium finisher.
Yep, this time.
How you feeling after that race out there?
Pretty good. Started off a lot better than it ended, but it is what it is.
So you're saying you're not satisfied with how your race went out?
Like an 80%, yeah.
You're my pick to click for the night.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you got a podium out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I had you and Griffith for about 2 picks to click, and I think his tires died at the end. And
Oh.
So anyways, but you brought it home for a podium.
Yeah. Seems to
Nice
be once
stuff.
I go into the pits, I fall off.
Yeah, but you're always there. It's all you could ever ask for.
True.
Just put yourself in position. It's all you could ever do for yourself.
Yep.
Are you looking forward to next week's race?
Yeah, what track was that again?
Hungaroring.
Oh
He's hung-
yeah, last season it was good. I hope it'll be good this season too.
Last season it was good.
Oh yeah,
Were you?
it was pretty good.
Were you in one of the sessions that was dry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
He was hungry like a wolf.
Yep.
I wish it was raining, but it was still good.
Alrighty. Thank you
Good
for
stuff.
talking to us.
Oh
Yep, Thanks
yeah.
for coming up and joining us. Congratulations on the podium.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
And
Hope
good
to-
luck next week.
We hope to
Great race,
Nice.
babe.
see you here with us next week in the box.
We'll see.
Alright, I'll drag you back down. Oh, wow. Alright.
Well, that couldn't have gone any better. You
Is there
guys
anyone
are.
else on our list?
Let's see.
I did not see any of the silver drivers, but I kind of want to take a quick moment here. We're working on how we want to present this going forwards. I'm not sure if we're going to do some sort of graphics still or motion or how we want to do it. But we've been lucky enough to have multiple members of the league reach out and want to help contribute towards the back end of things and helping keep the league running and things of that sort. So we have a few sponsors of different sorts, people from in the league, outside the league, that we're going to be trying to, I guess you could say, shout out, represent, give a little hoot hoot to, because at the end of the day, it's not easy to do this, and it's also not cheap or free. And these people, free from any sort of suggestion to do this, have stepped out of their way and wanted to help out, and this is our way of trying to give them a little bit of respect back to them, is giving them a shout out for what they've done for us. So we're gonna hope to have that, I'm assuming, for next week. I would sit here and read off the list, but we're fortunate enough to have a nice long list. So thank you to those of you who have donated and who have been here to support in any form, and we look forward to recognizing you further.
Yes,
we-
thank you.
We want to mention a good friend of Kyle McGinnis, Diana Molina. We lost her last week, and want to just mention that we're sharing with Kyle with his loss. He's part of the league, friend of the league, friend of the broadcast, and a broadcaster himself. So Diana Molina, a good person, lost way too soon.
Shame. All right, I think that about wraps it up for us
I gotta
tonight.
pee. I gotta
You have to
pee.
pee? Okay, so
Me
then
too.
yeah, it definitely is done. We got it.
Interesting transition.
I
but,
know, right? We got all of our Earth, Wind, and Fire and Toto references out of the way. right? We did.
Oh, we
Hopefully.
blessed rains all over the place tonight.
Well, you're about to bless rains in your bathroom. So,
If I make it that far.
so with that, have a good night. We'll see you in Hungary for the Hungaroring.
See you next week, folks.
So long!